We're on live. Hello, everybody out there in TMSM viewing land. Why did you say it like that? You're live on here.
Oh my god.
You just whispered in front of everybody.
Sorry, I'm looking at that screen and I'm just like,
It's
I'm
20 seconds delayed.
scolding my husband without...
See what I gotta put up with? Cameras go on, she's different. Cameras are off.
Okay, so hi. It's been a while. I'm so glad that you could join us tonight. We have so much to tell you about. The past couple of weeks have been quite a whirlwind, and we are really excited to talk to you about everything that's been happening. But before we do, please share this video with your friends.
Exactly.
Because we've been out for the past couple of weeks, and I don't know, people sometimes forget. Or like me, I've been so tired the past 2 weeks, I never know what day it is or what time it is or any of the sort. So any shares
what
are
day
always...
is it?
It's Monday now.
Okay.
Any shares are very much appreciated. So.
Yes, it's been a while since we've been on with you guys. We did a half-an-hour show before we went to Disneyland 2 weeks ago, so it's been 3 weeks since we really had a full show.
Yeah, we haven't had a real show
in about 3 weeks.
3 weeks. So
should we try to see if this thing works now rather than
do you want to do it now?
We, as you probably follow along on social media, we went to the Toy Story press junket for Toy Story 4 this week, and this was one of the toys, I guess you could say, that was given to us by Think Away Toys. This is there's a Woody and a Buzz, and they both do. They respond to commands. Hey Woody, someone's coming, and he's not going to work. Hey Woody, someone's coming.
I thought you were supposed to call him Buddy. He says,
"Hey Buddy." He's not working. He's asleep. Hey Buddy. He's not working.
Pull something. Pull something. Oh wait.
Hello, buddy.
Hey Buddy. Hey Buddy. Someone's coming. And when it works, it's the coolest thing ever. And it's worked quite a few times for us today.
God bless it.
Someone's coming. See, now he's not working, but what'll happen, we turned it off after we tested it, and then we put it back on here, and I think we needed to run through the channel again to do everything.
He falls down all by himself.
All by himself.
Like, you tell him someone's coming, and he does poof, like he does this all by himself.
It's just funny.
It is a really cool toy when it works.
Hey, Woody. Hey, Buddy. Well, that was embarrassing because that was supposed to work. Woody, you dropped the ball. He's just...
Reach for the sky.
It's because all these
Reach
people are
for the
watching.
sky.
All these people are watching and it's got nervous.
Boy, we're off to a great
Someone's
start.
coming. Oh, brother, not again.
Did you see that?
Hey, Woody, the coast is clear. And then he'll say, great, it's clear. Help me out, buddy. So that's how Woody works. So he does fall over and Buzz Lightyear does the exact same thing. So it does work. I just proved it works eventually, even though he said it and I didn't have to.
I'm really glad that he fell.
But Think Away Toys gave us that one, and they gave us the Buzz Lightyear to show you guys. These will be available in all retailers that carries toys. I'm guessing on DisneyStore.com as well, and the Disney Store online. So
these are hours of entertainment because
they really
you gotta
are.
figure out how to get them to work. And then once they work, like you just keep standing Woody back up, and he keeps falling over. It's pretty good.
It is. It's really cool. And according to the sheet here, just looking over, he has 70 different phrases that he'll say. So he'll say, "There's a snake in my boot." All the classic Toy Story phrases from Woody. But then once he's programmed to the voice, because you had to run through a whole programming to begin with, then he gets onto your voice. So then he's supposed to fall. When you say someone's coming, he'll hit the ground. Okay, buddy, it's
or
clear.
Or if he gets tired, he'll be like, he'll
time
say
for a nap.
Time for a nap, and he like yawns, and he falls over too. So
falls over backwards. His head hits the ground. It's funny. So it does work. It does work. Trust me, it did work. Many times we tried it in the test, but of course we go live, and maybe there's too many people watching him, and he knew it.
He knew it. He got stage fright.
Stage fright.
So anyway, so since we started off on a really not scheduled, very professional note, maybe we should try to reel it back in and get this show back on track because we have a lot to talk about.
Well, I think then we should probably pick up where we last left you guys, which was we were getting ready to leave less than 12 hours after we talked to you to go to Disneyland. We were last with you 2 weeks ago tonight, and then the next morning we got up at, 3 o'clock?
Oh, yeah, did we sleep?
A couple hours. Michelle's family was still here. They hadn't left. They actually left after we did. Hours after we left for California, they left. So we went to bed. We actually still didn't get to bed early because we were spending time with them before we had to leave. But we got about 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and then we had to head off to the airport and jump on our plane to head out to bright and sunny California.
Yes, and just as a side note, thank you all so much for the prayers and the support, because as you know, I'm terrified to fly, and just a little bit. And as you can see, I made it back alive, so thank you. I was really concerned about that.
That would have been our last show ever if we're not.
I was concerned.
She was really, she was scared to death.
I hate that.
But she was tired, so she got on the plane, she was relaxed. We watched movies because we flew to Delta and they have the television screens right in front of you, so we were able to watch movies and music and such. And she relaxed, and we arrived safe and sound. The flight out there was good. There was not even any bad.
Yeah, the flight out there was good. And then once we landed, I was fine. I mean, tired, but fine. It's funny because you know, when we left, it was early, of course, and then it's a 3-hour time difference. So when we got there, it was still early morning there, and we were like getting hungry for lunch, but it was like 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it was. It was hard to find lunch at 8:30 in the morning when we got there. So we left the airport, we flew to LAX, and then we had to drive to Anaheim. So we had a car rented, and then we drove. It took about 45 minutes or so to get to Anaheim.
I think I did fall asleep in the car a little bit because I was just so tired and stressed out. Which you'll find that's going to be a reoccurring theme of things I tell you. Tired and stressed out about Disneyland.
But what's funny is, as tired as we were, once we got there, we got to our hotel, we pre-checked in and everything, we were off to California Adventure right away. We went to the parking lot, we went and parked, and then took the bus over there, and it was like we woke up.
I think it was just the excitement of being there, and the weather. Like, we've been in a horrible heat wave here in Florida, and in California, like, the highs were in the low 70s.
Beautiful.
I wore a sweatshirt most of the day that first day. The weather was gorgeous, and it just felt so good because we've been dying here. I mean, the weather's been the heat index, like, especially that week. Well, when my parents were here, heat index of over 100.
Like 103 was the average that week when we left, so it was kind of nice to get a break from that. But it was perfect weather to be in the parks. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better when we got to the parks. They weren't overly crowded.
They really weren't. It's different. It's so different.
It's so different. Those first couple days were more crowded, though, and we'll get to it later, but Friday was the least crowded of the days we were there on the day Galaxy's Edge opened. But so we got there on Tuesday, and we explored California Adventure almost all day. Our eventual goal was we're going to stay for World of Color, and then we're going to go and we're going to go sleep because we had found out throughout the day what time she had to start her media events the next day. And you got to remember, we're still 3 hours ahead mentally and physically, or mentally there, but physically we're earlier. So when 9 o'clock rolled around, it was actually midnight to us. So we were on like 20 some hours of nonstop, and we were both starting to crash. And we kind of looked at each other and go, we can watch the World of Color one of the other nights. So.
Yeah, it comes to a point where you have to make some decisions as to what's going to be the best for you. I'm going to say this. I'm going to venture to say this, that this trip, in all the years of doing the Main Street Miles for the past 9 years, this trip was like very pivotal as far as media events, as far as coverage of things, as far as pressure. I can't imagine, like having to just, okay, we're going to... Jack is snoring. I apologize if you hear noise.
If you don't know who Jack is, he's our little French English bulldog who snores during the show, or he barks, so it's his choice.
He's snoring currently. I put a lot of pressure on myself because I knew that this was a big deal. I knew that I had to do a good job because, as you'll find, the more I talk about like the other news outlets that were there, it was very, very, very intimidating. And then the 3-hour time difference. I can honestly tell you that week we were in California, those 4 days, we maybe slept a couple hours a night because
3 or 4 hours maybe.
Just being all messed up time-wise, working. And, instead of going back to the room and going to sleep, it was like, okay, we got back to the room so late. What do we have to do for tomorrow? Do we upload videos? Do we do this and that? I was so screwed up, like more than usual, of sleep deprived, stressed, just a big old hot mess. And a lot of that is just because of the amount of pressure and the kind of event that I knew I had to cover. And I had to cover it by myself. So gonna preface that. Last week was a lot of pressure.
Yeah, so Michelle, like she said, she was all by herself. So I was there in spirit in the park, but I wasn't able to go into the land with her to actually do the reporting or coverage at all. I actually never walked into Galaxy's Edge while we were there. I was never allowed in. We didn't have a reservation for the land on Friday, so I have still not seen it, as most of you probably have not as well. So I will see it hopefully in August when it does open at Walt Disney World. But Michelle, she puts a lot of pressure on herself, and I'm not sure why, because she always does a fantastic job. And I don't know if it's because she puts the pressure on herself that she does such a great job, or if it's just she would do it regardless. But she did. We'd get back to the room at night, like she said, we'd get all our devices on chargers and get everything ready for the next day and pack the bags and everything, and then set the alarm and lay down. She would fall asleep like that.
And then I'd be up a couple hours later because I was like, okay, I got to be ready for this. I can't be late for this. You know, when we cover events for Walt Disney World, I know where everything is. There's never, a question of where we have to meet or who we have to meet or, the protocol of how things work. In Disneyland, it's not the same media people that you deal with. It's something completely different, and it's unfamiliar territory for me because I've only been to Disneyland a couple of times. Right. So it was really just, oh my gosh, it just felt like this little fish in this big pond, and I knew that it was going to be scary for me. But we talk honest, so I'm just going to say it. I had all this self-doubt, like, can I do this? Am I over in my head in doing, is this way over my head doing this? What am I doing here? I had a couple moments like that, like, what am I doing here? But, you have to, there comes a time you have to chuck it out the window and just be like, we can do this. I can do this. And that's exactly what happened. So that morning, I had to go check in at the Grand Californian, and I don't know if you've been to Disneyland or not, but like everything is attached.
It is. It's not like here where you have to take a bus to get from one hotel to another hotel or from one park to another. Everything is right there, all within really short walking distance of one another, except the parking lot.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. The parking lot's up the street, but you can get to, like, it's almost like a hub where there's like California Adventure and then Disneyland, and then you can get to the hotels from like downtown Disney, and it's all in the same vicinity, it's nice. It
is nice. There's security checkpoints at both entrances in there, and that's the only time you check security. So when you go out into the park, you don't. We left while we were there. We ended up leaving Disneyland and going to California Adventure and back and forth, and you don't have to go through security checks and all that. You just scan your.
But they do have security checks at downtown Disney, which we don't have at Disney Springs.
So they filter everybody through one area, which is nice, and I don't know how they could do it here logistically because I don't think they have the space or the way to do it, but I'm sure eventually they'll figure out a way. But so that first day she said we went to California Adventure, one of the starts of her, we went there on that Tuesday to register her with her press credentials. And so we went into this room. They had this room really decorated, really cool, very Star Wars. They had some beverages and they had snacks out, and you could just sit around, and there was really nobody in there but the employees working it. So we're sitting there and taking pictures, and they had Star Wars Galaxy's Edge comics, which of course I had to grab because I had collected those. So we sat there for about 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's go. We want to get back in the park because we only have so much time. We don't want to waste any time. As we're walking out of the room and walking away, Bob Chapek walked right past us to go back in the room. And I was like, oh, I missed my opportunity to finally talk to him.
And who's Bob Chapek, for those that don't know?
Don't know. He is the vice president of Disney Parks worldwide. So he is the man who
runs
one
of the big wigs.
He is one of the big wigs. And there's rumor that he's possibly one of the contenders to replace Bob Iger when he retires. So we shall see, but
we don't do rumors here.
No, we don't do rumors. But Bob is the one who always gives the parks panel at D23.
He was the one I had my picture taken with at Christmas time, and I actually got to meet him and fangirled really big time.
Yeah, she met him at the Mickey's 90th birthday celebration.
On Good Morning America.
She also had breakfast with him a few years ago at Walt Disney World.
It was last year.
Blitz Week, was it just last year? Yeah. Where she, her and just a handful of the influencers actually got to have breakfast with Bob, and he expressed how much he appreciated everyone in that room, how they helped him. So,
which is super cool.
Very cool, very cool.
But anyways.
So, Wednesday morning we get up. Michelle has to go get her credentials and go to the park and get bussed into Galaxy's Edge. I went to the parks and I just had fun all day.
He did. But for me, they had, I think I explained this before we left, they had what's called an embargo, to where we were like sworn to secrecy until 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. So that whole day I was allowed to gather coverage, video, photos, you name it, anything. But I couldn't tell anybody what I had. it was one of those things that, like, when we did a panel first, they gave us a sandwich, and then we went to Galaxy's Edge, and I was so nervous walking in because I had seen the one here, but only up to a certain point. You really couldn't see anything. But when we started to walk into the new area, they take you in backstage. And I don't think I took a breath for about a minute. I was just overwhelmed with like, oh my gosh. And it was honest to God, like larger than life what they've done. As soon as you walk into this area, you see the Millennium Falcon. Now, the Millennium Falcon is so big, I didn't realize that's what it was.
And actually, I have the video or the photo.
Until I walked around it, because it was just that big.
And I just shared a picture that'll pop up here on the screen in a moment of Michelle in front of the Falcon, just showing the size comparison. So you can look at her and then just how massive it is. And that's not even the full shot of the Falcon.
Yeah, you couldn't get the whole thing into a picture.
Into one frame. So
it's big. I'll get the K there.
Yeah, there. It should have just popped up for everybody. So you can actually see just how large this this attraction is and how awesome it looks that they built. The amount of detail in there is it's unbelievable to me. Even look at that.
It looks as though you walked into a Star Wars movie. The Millennium Falcon is just big. I know I keep using the word big, but it is that big. It is just, I was overwhelmed. I mean, it really, everyone kept asking me, what were your first thoughts? And I just kept saying overwhelmed, or it was overwhelming because it's really something to see. I can't wait for you guys to go in and be able to see it when it opens here at Walt Disney World.
Or if you come to Disneyland, you've been able to see it or will be seeing it.
So, we got to walk around the land and take photos. They had these, what do you call them? Almost like bleacher, like dome style, things set up to where you could, for the press to go up on, because like I said, the Falcon was so big. In order to get a picture of it, you had to kind of go up on something so you could see it, because it would not fit. It just wouldn't fit in your shot.
It was that big that it couldn't.
It was. So then, I go up on the side and walk past the queue for Millennium Falcon. Then there was a store. It looked like this big rock building, but then as you go towards it, like these doors open just like you'd see something in the movie.
Like if you had the Force, open the door.
Yeah, something like that. And then there was this animatronic creature that was working like the register or whatever he was doing up there. Even the stores were like, it felt like you were in a movie. Everything the detail was incredible. So after I browsed through the store, I walked to where the food area was going to be, and they had like an animatronic in the food area. And then, so I decided, they said that there was the marketplace behind the restaurant. So I'm walking behind the restaurant, and I'm looking around, being nosy, of course. And up on this platform, I could see that one of the major news outlets had like the big microphones and the big
the boom mics,
all the whole setup up there. And I look, and it's Bob Iger up there, and he was doing an interview for one of the major outlets. But I was like, that's pretty cool too.
She sent me the picture because she was allowed to share the pictures with me. We just couldn't put them out for everybody else to see. So she sent me that picture. She goes, "That's Iger, isn't it?" And I confirmed, yeah.
Yeah, because I couldn't really see because it was way across, but they wouldn't let us go over where he was. So in the marketplace area, though, and I'm sure that a lot of you have seen the video, they gave like a demonstration of these adoptable creatures that you're going to be able to buy.
Which we have the video on our YouTube channel, so if you haven't seen it, go find it. The video's actually done really well. It's got like 16,000 views, but it shows all these creatures that Michelle was able to see firsthand.
Yeah, it was, you could of course they had like the interactive porgs, they're really cute. They had this, you have to forgive me, I don't know what Star Wars creatures are, so I'm give them my own names. Please go easy on me, because I don't know what they are. They had like a alien that sits on your shoulder that has fuzzy hair.
Salacious Crumb, he was from Return of the Jedi, sat next to Jabba the Hutt on his plateau, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that guy.
He's the guy who laughs at everybody. But that's who it is. It's a recreation of him. I'm not even sure if I pronounced his name right. It's been years, but that's who it was, or a
Skinny
version of him.
alien, fuzzy hair.
Yeah.
Okay, so he sits on your shoulder, very much like how they did the Banshees in Pandora, and you can make him, like, do things.
Right, so you have a controller that goes down your sleeve of your arm and goes into your hand. You're able to control.
So it looks like the alien is alive on your shoulder, yes. I guess. Okay, so they have him, and then they had this thing, it looked like a cat. And the cast member was, like, petting this little creature, and he was so cute. And he purrs. And then when you get, like, by his tail, he pops up and he hisses at you. Which is, but in a nice way, he was cute. Anyway.
Is that a flurkin?
What? No, that's wrong. That's Marvel.
I know, but they could combine it.
No. So anyway, he's cat-esque.
Cat-esque.
Yeah.
Skinny alien fuzzy hair. Yeah, that's a great name. That is good.
I know people can we can watch the replay all week long and you guys can make fun of me on your own. I honestly don't know, but at least I
have a feeling Troy will be making memes.
At least I own it. So anyway, so they had this other thing, it looked like a little pig, and when you squeezed it, it snorted.
Like Jack.
It sounded like my dog.
Like our dog does that.
They had another thing, it looked like the Yeti with tusks, like a snow creature.
Okay.
They had,
was it the Abominable Snowman from Hoth? I don't know.
Anyway, watch the video. So it's on our YouTube channel.
I can't watch it on YouTube.
You should check it out.
I can't watch it on our IP address. We get in trouble.
So anyway, I was doing my best to just get coverage. I'll figure out what that stuff is after. Because I knew that a lot of our readers, our Star Wars fans, would know what all that is.
I'm not gonna let her know. So when she sees them all again in August, she can come up with the same names.
I tried my best.
Fuzzy alien creature.
Hey, I tried. So anyway, there's like 10 of them. There's like 10 creatures adoptable creatures. And it's so funny because, like, they put them in these boxes, like Build-A-Bear Workshop boxes.
They did.
Like build a port, build an alien.
I was watching everybody walk around the park with those after everything was done. I was like, what is it?
Like, oh my gosh, it's like Build-A-Bear, but not Build-A-Bear. Okay, so anyway, so I got to walk around, and then it was time to ride the Millennium Falcon. And I was not sure what to expect whatsoever. I kind of didn't read any spoilers about anything because I wanted to be surprised. I wanted you guys to see my initial thoughts, reactions, whatever on
without anything.
Yeah. I wanted to go in like as a guest, not as somebody who was reporting anything. The Millennium Falcon, the queue area is just as elaborate as the outside. Between the Falcon itself, the elaborate displays of different things. There's a spot where there's this really lifelike animatronic that's talking to the people in line, and I know that you would know his name, but we'll have to talk about it later.
If you're curious about the queue line, there is, I think it's either 4 or 5 videos of the queue line that she did, all like little clips of the queue line that are also on YouTube that you can go check those out and go through the queue. I believe I did number them 1 through, I think it's 5. You can watch them in order as she walked through. That's how she.
Yeah, the queue area was so long that it would have taken me probably 5 full minutes of video because I went on it twice. Because it was, I guess they're doing it for long wait times, so they want to keep people entertained while they're standing in line. So there's a lot to see. And then like the holding area before you get on the ride looks like the like it looks like a movie set. I don't know how else to describe it. It looks like a movie set. And then, like, these doors open again, and you go down the hallway, and then you see, like, the cockpit of the Falcon. And 6 people ride per time. So, like, the 2 front chairs are, like, the pilot, and then they have some...
Chewie and Han.
Then they have somebody in the middle that does something else, and in the back, they have, like, it kind of tells you what to do, and there's these buttons on the side that you can use to shoot. So, for lack of a better word... I would say that it was like a big video game, almost. Very interactive. And on my first ride through, I was the pilot on the left side. So my job was the back and forth. And, like, you hear somebody telling you what's going on, and then they'll be like, go left, go left. And then when you take the thing and move it to the left, the whole thing goes whoosh. I mean...
So it's a full immersive simulator that you're actually moving with whatever the screen is supposed to be.
It absolutely is. I will say that if you have any issues with motion, you might want to pop a Dramamine in there before you go on. But it honestly felt like you were flying. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. Disney did such a great job with staying true to what Star Wars fans would expect, and it was that good. So the second time we went there, I didn't want to sit up front. I wanted to sit in a different.
Because she didn't feel good.
I decided to sit in the back. But they strap you in, and I was doing the back where I just had to hit like the shoot, like the lasers or whatever. But I was trying to hold myself in because it, like I said, it moves back and forth. So that's why you have those the seatbelts on, because I almost popped out of my chair a couple of times. So it's very
immersive.
Oh Lord, it's very immersive.
That's the way to say it.
It's very immersive. They did such a good job. So that's going to be the first ride to open for ours here at Walt Disney World as well. So after walking around a little bit, I left the land because the dedication and the party was going to be happening starting at 6. And then that embargo was going to be lifted. So I went out and I met him in the park.
We went and had beignets.
Oh gosh. Butterscotch beignets are heaven on earth.
They are
no diet, no shame. I mean, like,
I had 3 a day for 4 days.
Oh, so good. Disney World needs beignets like that. They really do. I would say that the snacks at Disneyland are better than
the food overall, I think, is much better. And it's the water. It really is. The water makes everything taste better.
Yeah. So, anyway, we went out, regrouped, had a beignet.
Or a couple. Or 3. And then we were uploading, and at that time is when she was airdropping me all the videos and stuff so I could get them prepped and online. So I was putting them all on YouTube, but private to where you guys can see them. I was putting them back into our site.
Yeah, so I'm like, please don't break that embargo because I don't want to get in trouble.
So we were trying to get everything ready to go, and anybody who was watching our coverage knows it didn't come out till probably like 10 after or so. That's only because I had so much I had to go and make public after 6 o'clock hit that I had to do each piece of it in order to put the videos and things out there.
There was so much information that I gathered throughout the whole day.
And I had been working for almost an hour at that point when 6 o'clock hit to try to get all this ready. So it was very stressful. And then knowing she has to go back in the land right at 6, it's hard for me to, okay, what was this? She's trying to give me details so I can do a write-up or explain what the video is, but she's also got to get back in the land for the next thing that's happening at 6 o'clock. So it was kind of stressful for that little bit just to make sure we got everything up. We didn't want anybody to come back, oh, that's not what this is, that's not what that is. So we were a lot of double-checking with one another. Okay, is this really what this video is about? Is this what this one's about? But we got it all out, and you guys were fantastic as far as watching, sharing, responding, comments. You guys were
I was
fantastic.
So worried because the embargo was for everybody, not just for us.
Yes. So
once that 6 o'clock hit, 9 o'clock Eastern, everybody got to flood their feeds. Every site that was there. And back to what I said about the whole intimidation, feeling like a little fish. When I was up on the platform earlier that afternoon, I was watching the outlets around me, and there was the Travel Channel to my right. USA Today was on my left. There was the Foreign Press. Entertainment Tonight. Reuters News. Like big outlets. And
somebody asked where the beignets are. They're over by the mansion
the
mid-julep bar. That's where you can get them. And there's they always have a new flavor in addition to the original ones.
And then I see somebody ask, there's another ride. Yes, there is another ride opening on Rise of the Resistance where you are going to fight Kylo Ren. It is not open yet. We have no opening date.
Does he cry and run away?
No, he doesn't cry.
He's a little baby.
Oh, God. All right, anyway, so the kickoff party with the celebrities and all that good stuff was beginning. I was standing in line by myself. Again, you get thrown in by yourself, and it's a lot scarier when you don't know what you're doing and the people around you. So I'm standing there waiting, and I see a couple of Imagineers. I see Pee Wee Herman. I know it's Paul Rubens, sorry.
In case you're wondering why he would be there, he is the voice of Rex from the old Star Tours, and he's also in the new land.
There's a cantina back there, there's a bar back there, and Rex is the DJ in the cantina, voiced by Paul Rubens, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman. So that's why he was there.
And he was also in Nightmare Before Christmas.
He was in Nightmare Before Christmas. So, so I'm standing there trying to hold myself together and not fangirl about the people I'm standing around.
Now, Pee Wee Herman was not the biggest celebrity.
I'm just throwing that out there. So,
I saw Fred Savage as I was walking away from the land. He was walking in there. I was like, oh, it's Fred Savage. She's like, oh, yeah, well, I just saw Pee Wee Herman. She sent me the picture. I'm like, oh, you win.
Yeah, I saw Pee Wee Herman. Okay, so then when we went into the land, they had drink stands set up. They had little mini portions of food that you're going to get to have at Galaxy's Edge.
And you had sample sizes.
Sample sizes. They had it was like chicken in a jar with like mashed potatoes that you're gonna have. They had these these hot dog things that you can have there. They had this really good. It's like cake that had espresso in it, which was good, and they had drinks. They had drinks, which was nice. And then
who else did you see?
I'm getting there. Okay, so I was standing there talking to one of my Disney reps, and we started to look around a little bit to see if we could see any celebrities were there. And I think the first one I saw was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the basketball player.
How could you miss him though? He's like 7 foot.
Oh my goodness, he was so tall. I mean, very easy to spot. He was with another athlete that the name escapes me. I can't think of who that was, but we're standing there and somebody whispers over, and they're like, "Oh, there's Brie Larson, and AKA Captain Marvel." And I looked at my friend that I was with, and I was like, "That is not Brie Larson," because it didn't look like her. It just didn't look like her. Plain clothes, no makeup, very plain Jane as opposed to what you see on the screen. And then after looking at it, somebody said, "I'm 1,000% sure that that's Brie Larson." So I took their word for it.
And it was.
And it was. And it was. And what's funny is that you are at these events, and I saw Bob Iger talking to somebody over there. And they don't tell you anything as far as I assumed that Iger was going to do the dedication because I had seen him in the land already. Plus, he is the head of Walt Disney, so the company.
That makes sense.
So, but they didn't tell us anything else as far as anybody else that was going to be there. So, I was just celebrity spotting, having a cocktail, looking around, and all of a sudden it was time to get in for the opening ceremonies. And I was going to do my best to live feed. I had my Wi-Fi on me, and I'm like, I'm going to get in there with the big dogs and get my hand up in there so I can show you guys the ceremony.
Because the embargo had lifted at this time, so she was able to live feed pictures instantly on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. She was no longer under that embargo. So.
No, and I didn't know who was going to be on that stage for the dedication. But instead of recording it...
I told her the day before.
Instead of recording it and then showing you guys afterwards, I wanted you guys to watch it with me. That's why I went live, so that we could all get excited and enjoy it together.
Oh, it says our quality has been lowered because the stream...
Hope you guys can see us okay. I don't see anybody.
I think it's bad weather in the area. So
we have had storms all week.
So hopefully you guys are okay. But one thing I wanted to say before she goes on with the dedication is she sent me a message earlier. She goes, "You know that movie you watch before you go into Galaxy's Edge? That one guy who's in there, he's here." And I'm like, okay, that narrows it down. And I guessed who I thought it would be, but she didn't even send me the picture. And then she showed me a picture. It was Dave Filoni, the director of Star Wars Rebels, who I actually had done the panel with at Celebration in 2017. I got to be part of their panel and see him there. But she was just spotting all these people, and she questions who she sees a lot of times. No, that's not so-and-so, or that's not so-and-so. But it's just funny that there were so many celebrities there, and probably more than you even knew.
Probably. Do you ever do that, like, if you're, say, like, in the grocery store or something, and then you see somebody that you think you went to school with, or somebody that from a long time ago?
Terry Kozart was on. We went to school with him.
Oh, hi, Terry Kozart. I think he was in my mom's class one year.
Everybody was.
Anyway, like, you think you see somebody you know, and you know that it's them, but you second guess it, like, maybe it's not. I was doing a lot of that that night because I wasn't sure.
I would just been taking pictures everywhere. Are you somebody? Nope. Take a picture.
No. So anyway.
2,000 pictures later.
So it's time for the ceremony, and...
Can I put this picture up?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, not yet. So...
Stop.
Not yet. So Bob Iger comes out, and he's, and somebody asked me when I was live feeding, why was this guy in front of me kept turning around, and they thought he was looking at me. He's not looking at me. The teleprompter that Iger was reading from was right behind me.
She was feeding him what his lines were.
Yeah.
Make sure you thank everybody.
No, like nobody else had a teleprompter but Bob Iger. Because he had to read the script for the dedication.
Ruff's in Australia watching us, so it's all clear. But
Oh,
Michelle
yay!
said it's freezing up in Brazil.
Hi,
So
Australia. Okay.
we're going global tonight. We got Australia and Brazil watching for sure.
So Bob Iger's doing his thing, and then all of a sudden George Lucas comes out. Now George Lucas was rumored to be there that day. You even said, I bet you George Lucas is going to be there.
Well, I told her the day before we were talking about who could possibly be there. I said, you're going to be there with George Lucas, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford. She goes, you're crazy. They're not all going to be
I
there.
thought maybe Mark Hamill. But, because he did Star Wars Weekends.
I missed by one.
Anyway, so, like, one by one, you know, the actors had come out. Billy D. Williams, who was Lando Calrissian.
Can I show the picture?
Not yet. And then Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. So it was Iger, George Lucas, Mark Hamill, Billy D. Williams. And then at the very end, out comes Harrison Ford. Now you can show him the picture.
Harrison's the man.
Now you can find it.
There it is.
Boom.
So you can see all four of them there. That's just awesome to see the or five of them, I should say, all together. I was happy to see George Lucas was there, just because I've heard things that he's not included as much as he probably should be. So I was very happy to see that they did have him there with the rest of them.
Yeah, be all inclusive, Disney. No.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're going back to the original movies, based on, unfortunately, we've lost three of the originals, and Peter Mayhew, Carrie Fisher, and Kenny Baker. But these three were all part of it too, so it was huge to see them all
so
there.
that was what I was looking at on live feed, and I made the mistake of getting ahead of myself, like, shocker.
She never does that.
I can never do that. Because I put so much pressure on myself, and they didn't tell us exactly when we were going to get to go in for the ceremony. It was basically like, okay, now go. So I didn't take time to set up, you know, my stabilizer. So I was using my camera with one hand, and I was, like, surrounded by people. You know, these celebrities are in front of me, and I could feel my hand starting to shake because I'm like, oh God, don't blow it, because everybody's watching, and if you drop your camera or you hit the wrong button, people are going to be pretty mad at you.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah. Like, this opportunity will probably never happen again, so don't blow it. So I took my other arm to use as, like, to hold it up, it was crazy. And I think that you just, you know, people were like, was that exciting? Was it this and that? Of course. But also, we talked about this the other day, because we had to go to the press junket for Toy Story 4 with the stars. We'll talk about that. But I think that I've gotten to the point there when I'm at these things to do my job, I kind of put the fangirl aspect on the side, because I'm there to work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there to do a job, and I was more worried about you know, doing a good job than so much like, oh my gosh, that's Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
know?
your fandom almost has to become second to what you're doing, because you're supposed to be
your
covering for
job.
everybody else. I did get to see Harrison and George Lucas at Celebration a couple years ago.
Them.
They were from me to the camera in front of me on stage, and I lost it. I texted her at home. I said,
like, oh my gosh.
I had tears in my eyes, because to me, those were two of the guys who I grew up with, George creating and Harrison on screen. Those, to me, was the greatest thing, next to seeing Stan Lee and Mark Hamill at D23 in 2017. So it was great. But, yeah, we were talking the other day, though, about how you have to kind of you got to put aside your fandom, or your, oh my God, I can't believe who I'm seeing, and you got to just kind of cover it. And she talks about her handshaking, and that's why we bought the stabilizer. So, because I've done so many videos on my phone that I said, oh, this will be better to hold a stabilizer. But she didn't know when it was going to happen, and it was kind of too late to.
No, there was really no preparing for what was about to happen. They didn't tell us who was going to be there.
Right.
They didn't tell us anything, so it was kind of like, be on your toes.
Be ready.
Be ready, and that's exactly what I had to do. But when it was over and I shut the live feed off, I was like, oh my God, that was the coolest thing ever. And then I was sending you pictures, because I was like, oh my gosh. It was again, use the word pivotal. with all the things that we've covered in the past 9 years, that one was big. I mean, that one was big.
And it was. This was the largest land opening in Disney history of any one land opening. This rivaled probably some park openings as far as like overseas parks and such. That this was such a big thing. And if you really step back and look, it's a land with one ride.
It is.
But it's huge because it's Star Wars, because Star Wars fandom has been around for over 45 years now. Or no, 42 years, sorry. 42 years now. And it just, the fans either, they love Star Wars and they're loyal to Star Wars and don't say anything negative about Star Wars, so you will get ripped. And Disney delivered what they said they would as far as the land's integrity and how it would look and the detail and such. And the Falcon detail is what's amazing.
And you know, the thing is we grew up on these movies, and even if, let's say, even if you are not like a super fan when it comes to Star Wars, you can still appreciate the amount of detail and the amount of work and thought that has gone into Galaxy's Edge.
And it's like that for us with Pandora. Neither one of us are fans of Avatar. I don't think, actually, we've still never seen Avatar.
My dad has. My
dad
dad is like the only one I know who have seen
in our family. But neither one of us seen Pandora or Avatar. We've seen just bits and pieces here. But
it's still cool.
We walked into the land and we were both blown away with the amount of detail. So this is similar to that. So even if you're not a Star Wars fan, you may have to wait a while, but it's definitely worth going to see the land and such. And hopefully once it does move here in August or opens here in August and we get to see it, we'll go from there and we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm not done with that night yet.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
No. So after I was on Cloud 9...
That's almost 8 o'clock already.
I know. I told you guys it was going to be a longer show, so I hope you stick with us. If not, you can watch the replay. Like Cindy says, you do your show for the replay.
There you go.
Okay, so after that whole thing... they had people go into the cantina area because they were giving out, samples of, they have non-alcoholic and alcoholic version of the drinks that they're going to be serving, like special drinks. And I'm standing there and I'm looking around, and who's at the bar? Brie Larson.
Again?
Again.
It's like it's fate.
She's like right in front of me. Like right
now,
in front of me.
Disclaimer. Until she saw Captain Marvel, she wasn't a fan of Brie Larson.
I'm not saying I'm not a fan.
She's not a fan.
I like the movie.
She totally became a Captain Marvel fan, though, because the day after we saw the movie, she had to go buy a Captain Marvel shirt.
Because of the girl power aspect.
The girl power aspect
of
the whole thing.
In case you didn't know. So anyway, so I'm standing back, and one of my people from the Sentinel was back there, and we were talking like you try to gravitate the people that you've worked events with before. Like, okay, who do I know here? Because the majority of people I did not know, because it was international press, it was the big media, it was all these outlets, and then I'm like, oh my gosh. So
and that alone is the hard part, because she knew some of our people from here who went there, but she really didn't know a lot.
And there wasn't a lot of us. There wasn't a lot of us from the Orlando coverage there. So you kind of had to just deal with it, get in there and work. And I went in there in the cantina because I wanted to try what they had to offer in there. And Brie Larson was there again. And then you could tell the celebrities by the cast members, with the plaid vests that are in there. So Brie Larson was there with like friends. She wasn't there with like other celebrities. Ashley Eckstein was at the table behind me, who is her universe, and she's on Rebels.
Yes, she's Ahsoka
on Rebels. And then there was this group. There was this group of people. And I felt so like old and not hip, because like there was these group of these I would say 20-somethings, and they had, don't laugh.
Old and not hip.
Old and not hip. Usually I'm pretty darn hip.
Old and still have 2 hips.
I am so with it. I'm so with it. But like there was these plaid vests, and there was this guy. You could tell he was a celebrity, because not only there's people around him, but he had on he was carrying a fanny pack, but not on his fanny. It was under his armpit, and it was like a Gucci bag, and you could tell it looked expensive. Don't know who he was. And then he was with
to this day. She showed a picture of about a dozen people, and nobody knows who they are.
Because he was with other people. And then the person I was with was like, oh, they could be on the CW, and I don't watch that channel, so I don't know. And it's true. I mean, I don't know who they were, but I know that they were somebody.
Broadcast interrupted.
Oh. Are we back? Are we not?
Well, live, it's still going over here. My computer.
I'm seeing broadcast interrupted, too.
Oh, still running. It's still recording.
Can you guys see us?
Uh-oh, interrupted. Heidi just said. Weird, I keep losing the signal. Frozen. Oh, now you're frozen. Gone. Frozen screen. Yep, that's where it is. That's where you're talking about that, and it froze.
Should we start a new feed?
You can try. It's going in and out. Keeps losing too, but I thought it was because of the...
Oh wait, now Heidi just said there you are. Can you see us?
I think it's going in and out right now. Frozen again, Heidi just said back gone. There you go again. I can finish it and restart it, but it's going to be the same signal. Gone again from Teresa. She's local. Back gone. Yeah, froze. Oh, yeah. Stop it and restart it.
I don't know.
There's a pose. Can you see us? There's a pose. Frozen again. It's got 26 people. The number's starting to go up as far as people watching it.
I wonder if we should go to another one.
Okay, let's go ahead and I'll stop this one. So we'll stop this video. Well, it keeps making noise over me. About. Yeah, we're moving, but it's just so slow. Okay, we're live again. It's still frozen. Or no, it's not. Maybe not. You gotta stop that video though. You're gonna have to open a new one.
Okay, it's off.
Yep, and there we are live again. Right here. And it's live, it's working.
Okay, let's see if we can get people to catch back on. Alright. Sorry you guys. I don't know if we have weather moving through the area or what. Okay, we'll let people catch on for a minute. And then we will finish the story.
Yeah, we gotta get moving here in the story. I think that's... I don't know if we're...
People were like, they didn't catch the rest of the story. It was just getting good, too. So, okay. Sorry about that. Alright. This is now part 2. Alright. Sorry, you guys. Okay.
Redo on the whole story, Corey? Okay, let me get out Woody. We'll start from the scratch.
No, we're not.
So this is Woody. He falls over.
Alright. Can you guys see us and hear us okay now?
I believe they can. Everything looks like
Why
it's
does
running
it still
fine.
say broadcast interrupted there? Is that
Because
the
I
old
haven't,
one?
yeah, I haven't updated this
Okay.
one. I was worried about the other one.
Okay. Sorry about that. Alright, now where was I?
What was the last thing you guys remember?
Oh, being with the guy with the expensive Gucci fanny pack.
The Gucci fanny pack guy.
Okay, so Gucci fanny pack guy, I don't know who he was. But anyway, so the next day, so that party was wonderful. Then the next day...
That was Wednesday.
That was Wednesday. The next day I had to be back and I had to meet some Disney reps because I had what they call interview opportunities, and I went back into the land to do food and merchandise is what I knew that you guys would probably want to see. Oh, somebody said that we're gone again.
Yeah, we're going to lose it. It just came up and said our stream is already... You better talk fast.
Okay, so anyway, so the next day, food merchandise, when I went in, Entertainment Tonight was taping, which was really cool to see. I had no idea how those TV shows work, so very interesting. And then after that, we left the land and we went to, go cover some more things. We wanted to make as much of our time. I guess we went there for work, but we also wanted to cover as much as we could for Disneyland as well because we don't get out there that often. So, you're not paying attention?
I'm trying to make sure we're running.
Okay.
You keep telling your story. I'm just trying to make sure we're running.
Well, I don't know. You tell me to tell my story faster. Now I'm all nervous.
Okay, you're wasting time.
I don't mean to. Okay, so anyway, So the rest of the week was basically, we saw World of Color. We did not get to see the fireworks at Disneyland. We did ride the Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion is better out there.
They want to see Fanny Pack Guy's picture, but you don't have it.
I don't
She didn't send me that one to show you guys.
I have it on my phone.
We have more people watching now than we did in the first.
No. Okay, so Disneyland is really something that's kind of grown on me. Of course, Disney World is near and dear to my heart, but Disneyland is pretty great too.
I'd have to say Disneyland is my preferred area. If something would allow us to move there in a minute, I probably would do it, just because I love it out there.
Well, the weather was nicer out there, but it's more expensive to live out there as well.
I would say that.
I really think that.
Oh crap!
Are we froze?
Are people saying it?
I don't know. Are we froze?
Oh wait, they started again.
Okay. Anyway, so I really appreciate all your footage. I'm going to try to wrap up my stories because I don't know how long our signal is going to last because we have storms in the area.
And this is only one of 6 things we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, this is one of 6. Okay, so after all that work at Disneyland, we came home, had to regroup, and then we had media events this week.
Well, the first 4 days after we got back, neither one of us was like...
We were good for nothing.
Nothing.
That's
why we didn't do a show last Monday, because we just...
I was not in a good place last week, so you wouldn't have wanted me to do a show.
Yeah, we just could not catch up on the sleep. We were completely thrown off and trying to get back into the swing of things. And when we left, we had just finished Andrew's graduation party and such, and then we got back, and it was like we still had to clean up and do all that stuff from there. So it was kind of like getting back into the swing of everything.
Yeah, I finally feel better this week as far as getting back on track. Because last week,
it's perfectly clear.
We had to, regroup, get some stuff done around the house, and then we had media events last week.
We did. They started on last Thursday, wasn't it? Was that the first one? No, last Wednesday.
Yeah.
Last Wednesday was it was Thursday.
Wednesday I had the radio station.
And then you were on Coffee Talk with Cindy.
I was. So my friend Cindy Simmons had me on her show, her Coffee Combo Wednesday.
And for those that don't remember, Cindy was on our show a few months back, but Cindy is also now a part of TMSM. She's become one of our writers, so she has joined our staff to help us out with
Cindy's a contributor, and she's a very, very, very nice person. I really like her a lot, and I think that she fits perfect with what we do at the Mainstream House. So that's great to have her, and it was fun to go do her show because I got to talk a little bit about Galaxy's Edge, and we canceled our show, but we went to Cindy's, and it was 2 days later.
That Monday, we were just in no way ready to do the show.
I was not in any shape or form to do a show last
night. And actually, we were supposed to have a media event that night that we ended up it was not a media night, but it was an annual pass holder night at Typhoon Lagoon. And we were going to go, and both of us just kind of looked at each other like, I just don't even feel like it. I'm just exhausted. So.
Oh, yeah, we were supposed to go to the annual pass.
That's why we originally canceled it. Yeah, that was originally why. So that was Wednesday. Thursday come around, we had the Villains After Hours event that Disney had hosted us for to go check out, it was really fun.
Wait. We got to rewind for 1 second.
Oh, you didn't show me your stuff.
Oh, I didn't show you I had show and tell. I had things. Okay, so this was the park map for Galaxy's Edge. And they were only giving out 2 maps per person because people, of course, buy or take them and sell them on eBay. So the maps for Galaxy's Edge were very elaborate, but I couldn't snag a bunch of extra because they just weren't allowing that.
They weren't allowing us.
You
want to show them what the Dasani bottle looked like?
Okay, so this was my media badge.
Which is a really nice badge compared to you.
This is like kind of like a prized possession for this media preview of Galaxy's Edge. Even though the Millennium Falcon looks like pizza, but it's still kind of a
Pizza the Hut throwback.
It's a thing. And then the
keys in the front.
Huh? Oh, the key. This was like for the media that just media got. It was like a media key to Galaxy's Edge. Then this was one of the Dasani water bottles for Galaxy's Edge as well.
And it's written in Arabic, so for those that don't know, that's Star Wars
language. Okay, villains.
And then the water bottle there is set to look like the hilt of Darth Vader's lightsaber.
So villains. All right, so here's the pamphlet for Villains After Hours, which we were there for opening night on Thursday.
Which is what this was.
And this is on select nights throughout the summer at the Magic Kingdom. from 10 to 1 a.m.
10 to 1, but you can get in the park at 7 if you have a passport, so you can get in there 3 hours before the party begins.
Villains After Hours. Okay, so what is Villains After Hours?
Villains After Hours is just the villains kind of take over the park for the night. Now, they're not out there doing meet and greets, so that's the one thing a lot of people ask, and there was not meet and greets with the villains that night in the park. There is a stage show, which we saw. It's about 22 minutes long. It's on our YouTube channel. You guys can check that out. But all the villains, Hades, Evil Queen.
Hades hosts.
Hades is hosting it, and he's ready to take over the world. So Maleficent, Evil Queen, Dr. Facilier, Jafar. They all come together and realize that they're going to take it over together. The 5 of them are going to become taking it all over. So the highlight for me that night was seeing the Maleficent dragon going around the park at nighttime, going around the entire hub circle in front of the castle.
And you see her eyes light up green.
Oh, they're so cool.
And there's like purple lights on the inside. There's a video on our YouTube channel, like he said, of that. And then like the fire at night. She's really cool to see at night.
It's definitely something if you ever want to see. We do have photos, and I think there's some video of that. Isn't there on YouTube?
Yes. The only thing is like, you know, when we were working, so like we didn't get to kind of roam the party and enjoy and see everything it has. When you cover a media event, they want you to you know, make sure you do this, and this. It's very structured. I would really like to be able to go back and enjoy the party instead of cover it. And,
yeah.
You know.
So for what you understand, they had us at the Contemporary first with a like kind of a pre-media party to show us the merchandise, the food, such as that, and then they bussed us over to the park, and we got in there just after 10 o'clock. And then once we were there, they had us do a what is it? Scavenger hunt around the park to get us to see the different things they wanted to see throughout the park. And then we had to meet at 11:30 in Tomorrowland Terrace, and then they took us over to watch the 12 o'clock showing, and then that ends at like 12:25. And then by then we wanted to go ride Space Mountain because it was an overlay for villains. So we ran over there and did that, and then before we knew it, it was already 1 o'clock and the party was over.
The lines for after hours, there weren't big lines at all. The park, actually, you know, it kind of reminded me, for lack of a better example, a very lower key, smaller Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party.
Yes.
They had, like, the Main Street was, like, dark but lit up with different, like, almost like Halloween colors. Mm-hmm. The castle, there was a DJ at the castle. Which you see like at New Year's they did the DJ.
What was cool about the DJ though is he played up until the stage show began.
Yeah.
Stage show came in, and then like Hades leaves, and hey, get him out of here, DJ, and then he starts playing right again.
And then as soon as the show is over, the DJ picks back up.
Yep, he starts right again. So that was really kind of cool.
So it's very, like I said, it kind of reminded me of low-key Halloween party. And you can really squeeze in a lot of time in those 3 hours.
And like I said, you have the 3 hours before that also, so you could actually have 6 hours in the park.
Yeah.
So
it was fun.
Just use your time wisely. On the way out, though, which was cool, is in the train station, they had the sisters and Lady Tremaine, Gaston, and then Corella.
Yeah.
As they were walking up, they were in the train station. They were all mic'd up.
Kind of like talking as you leave. They were up at the train station.
And Gaston was he's like, they're all looking at me. They can't move. They're in awe of my strength and my everything.
The tickets are $139.
$139. I believe there is an annual pass holder discount.
There might be a discount
there is.
for that.
So if you get a chance, check it out. You might enjoy it. It's cool at the Magic Kingdom because you will get to do a lot of the rides without any.
And the lines are not. It was not like it was much less crowded than say the Halloween party.
Right. I thought it would be oversold because that seems to be like some things that have been happening lately. But it was not packed. And then included in the price you get popcorn, ice cream bars, and soda and water that go along with that price. So
so basically for those 3 hours, if you can have as much popcorn and ice cream and Coke that you want.
Right. And Cindy had gone, actually, her and her husband Eric, she was invited because she is on the radio. So the 4 of us, Descendants, Disney bound.
We Disney bounded as the Descendants. If you look on our Instagram, it's there. And I didn't think we could pull it off, but Cindy was like, "Oh yes, we can."
And a lot of people knew who we were. It was kind of cool.
Yeah,
kind of cool.
So it was kind of neat to see. She was like, "Trust me, it's going to work," and it did.
It did. She was right.
And let's see. And then the next day was the press junket began for Toy Story 4. Now, this was an event that was kind of put on by the people in California, but here. There was, it was a full day. Like we did we start with the movie?
Well, we started, they had us, we met at Coronado Springs, and then we were bussed over to backstage at Hollywood Studios, where they led us into an area where they had different vendors, which is where we got the Woody that was here and fell over for you guys, and the Buzz Lightyear. They also had a Funko booth. They had a lot of the merchandise that's coming up because of the movie. So the Dooney and Burke purses, the Harvey bags, some of the kitchen things that's going to Pizza Planet stuff, shoes,
there
everything.
There was a Daniel Nicole bag. There was different apparel.
Mattel was there with their toys that are coming up.
Yeah, it was really, really cool because they had all these different vendors with all the Toy Story toys and different products that are coming out in celebration of the movie.
Right. So then they took us into this small theater, which was right there in this one of these back buildings at Hollywood Studios.
It's backstage.
It is backstage building. So they gave us a little bag of popcorn, a bottle of water. You go in there, and we all got to watch the movie together. Mm-hmm. And we're not allowed to review the movie yet. We're under an embargo for that. We are allowed to tell you guys we did see the movie.
And we're allowed to say we liked it.
And we can both say we liked the movie a lot. Me, personally, my favorite Toy Story. Of the four, it's my favorite. I love the way this movie was done. The animation just blew me away, though.
Yeah, the animation looks very real. And also the story itself. And I will say the new characters, you guys are going to love them. There was a couple of times that I cried from laughing, not from sentiment.
Once it comes out in the theaters, I think we're going to have to go see it again because the thought of waiting 2 months until it comes out on DVD is going to be rough. I think I need to go see it again.
It was good. I mean, I really like the new characters. There's these new plush characters, Bunny and Ducky.
They're the best.
I was in tears, like seriously in tears. And Forky, like everyone's like, isn't that a spork? It totally is a spork, but it's Forky.
And Woody, actually, in one of the trailers, actually, I've heard Woody say spork.
Spork.
Or get that spork or something like that.
Yeah, but Bonnie names him Forky. And it was funny because, like with Bunny and Ducky and Forky, our younger son, Aiden, every animal he had growing up was, berry.
Or if it was a blueberry, it was blueberry.
A blueberry.
Pelicany.
Yeah, he won him a pelican stuffed animal, and he named it Pelicany. Everything was like...
Is that a Y or I-E?
I think he still has Pelicany.
So, we went in, we saw the movie. The movie was fantastic. We both really enjoyed it.
Loved it.
And then they invited all the media to go into Toy Story Land, so we got to walk into Toy Story Land, which was funny is we're getting ready to walk from backstage on the stage. Woody, Bo Peep, and Buzz Lightyear were walking right in front of me as they walked through the gates. I walked right behind them.
Yeah, because we were backstage and so were they, so they were getting ready to go on stage for their meet and greet, so that was kind of really cool timing.
It was very cool timing, but so you see some of the stuff that they did have. They did bring out a new game, so they gave out Toy Story Drop, which is a new iPhone game, or I should say just phone game. You can play Google Play, Amazon Marketplace, Apple Store, Microsoft. So they were giving away the pop sockets for that. They had like little carnival games on the outside. You can win a poster or a lunchbox, things like that. They gave us, I think it was Mattel gave us different cars from different characters. So we got Buzz Lightyear and Bo Peeps. And then Disney gave us the Toy Story 4 blanket, which was really cool. It's a Pizza Planet blanket.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It was so cool to see the movie. And then they had all this media, because there was 2 movie showings. There was one at 3 and one at 5:30. They had all of us go to Pizza Rizzo's that night, and they had like a dinner,
like a media reception
there. So we sat there, and then after that, they took us to go watch the new animation nighttime show.
Yeah, they kind of had us roped off to watch like the Star Wars and then the new projection show, which it's not that new. It's like
but they added Toy Story 4 into it.
They did add Toy Story 4
so that was what was cool. So they added that part in there.
And then afterwards, they had us go, and they had a private thing for Toy Story Land.
Are we frozen in?
I don't know. Are we?
I don't know. My computer or my screen just did. Here, this one's moving.
I'm moving.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Okay. So, so then I got to go back and take pictures with the characters. And Bo Peep is not as scary as she looked online. I was a little bit nervous that the meet and greet would be a little bit purge-ish, but it's really not.
And then we had you're talking about the after party, right?
Yeah,
we got to see Woody, and he was there with Forky. So we got pictures with Forky. And for those who are curious, Forky, he holds Forky. Forky
Somebody asked me if Forky walks around. No, Forky does not walk around.
Woody carries Forky with him wherever he goes. So we waited in line for that. That was the longest wait. Buzz was standing over there by himself, so we went over and took pictures with Buzz, which was really cool. She got a really good shot with Buzz.
He did. Buzz grabbed my hands, and we did kind of like a dance pose. It was really cute.
Jessie was by herself, and Jessie was excited because nobody was really
they had her
going
way the heck
way over
in the
there.
back. Like
She was by Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Land area, and nobody was going over there. So we wandered over there, and she was really excited.
Really excited that somebody was there.
Yeah.
And that was that Friday. And then between the movie and the press reception and everything, it was like it was such a good day. I felt really good because I mean these events are very tiring to work, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
And it's so cool to be able to see a movie that's going to be a blockbuster hit weeks before it comes out.
And it's so weird because
I wish we could talk about it.
We saw Aladdin 2 weeks before it opened as well. So now when I see the merchandise and stuff in the store,
Yep.
I already know what it's all about. But we can't say. But
Right.
it's really cool.
We were actually at the mall yesterday and went to buy the Disney store, and a lot of the merchandise is already at the Disney store.
It is. Yeah, they have like the newer characters. Like I said, the Bunny and Ducky. The new doll with the red hair is Gabby, which
Don't say it, but
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Gabby.
Duke Kaboom.
Duke Kaboom is Keanu Reeves' character. And for those that corrected me on my spelling, it's Kaboom with a C.
Yes.
Everyone's like, it's a K.
No,
It's a
it's
C.
It's Duke Kaboom with
It's
the C,
Kaboom
how
with
they
a
spelled
C.
it, yep.
And I even like double and triple check that one.
I'm looking at his pop right behind me.
It's Kaboom with a C. So anyway, I promise. So the next day, I had to go back by myself to the other half of the press junket. There was going to be 2 different panels. The first one was Tim Allen, Christina Hendricks, and Keanu Reeves.
Which I have a picture of that.
The second one was Tom Hanks, Tony Hale, who plays Forky, and Annie Potts, who plays Bo Peep. So you want to talk about Keanu Reeves first?
Yeah, well, right now I put up the screenshot of just Tim, Christina Hendricks, and Keanu Reeves up there. So they had this in the same room where we watched the movie the day
yes.
before. So they got to come out and they got to see the actors. Michelle, you were sitting kind of close.
I was in the second row.
So kind of close to seeing them, and she got to hear them talk. And she was just sending me, she goes, "Oh my God, this is so cool." I kept getting messages that she was so excited, a little bit nervous.
But again, let's talk about work mode. I was so, what's the word? Just so intent on getting in there and getting the pictures, getting the,
And there's
the coverage.
There's the other picture I just put up with Annie
Yeah.
Potts, Tom Hanks, and then
Tony Hale.
So
I was just in work mode because when they walked out, instead of like fangirling, there was no time to do that because I knew that the panels were only going to be so long. But it was very interesting to see these actors talk about the movie and the impact that it's had. Like, because the Toy Story, like Tim Allen said that it was funny that Tim Allen's from Michigan, like us. He's the voice of the Pure Michigan.
If you've ever, and we see here in Florida all the time, they do the Pure Michigan commercials.
He's Pure Michigan.
It's pointing out something in Michigan, but he is the voice of Pure Michigan. And it's just funny that we watch it and we hear it. And it's like, who goes to Michigan to vacation if you're in Florida? But then you hear his voice and it's like.
And then when he used to do the Pure Michigan commercials when we lived back home. And the kids would be like, "Is that Buzz Lightyear on the Pure Michigan commercials?" I'm like, actually, it is.
It is Buzz Lightyear.
It is Buzz Lightyear.
And the Santa Claus.
And the Santa Claus. Okay, so one thing that Tim Allen had said, and he had said it a couple different times. I have video on our YouTube channel. But one of the things that he was kind of enamored with the fact that on the other side of the wall where we were at, there's Toy Story Land. He said that if you would have thought, 25 years ago when they made this movie, that there would be a whole land dedicated to it at Walt Disney World, he said he wouldn't have believed it. He said he just can't believe the what it's become and what it's turned into.
And 4 movies.
And the movies. And, it was just fascinating. It was fascinating. And then Keanu Reeves, who, my God, come on, you guys.
And Keanu Reeves has never given his voice to an animated character before.
No.
This is the first movie he's ever done that with. He never had to do that before. And this is one that he wanted to be a part of.
And he was so nice, and he was so laid back, and he was so because his character Duke Kaboom is like a Canadian Daredevil.
He's like Evil Knievel,
like
for
Evil
Canada.
Knievel, but Canada for Canada. And the character is one of those, I guess they were trying to make it, like, if they asked him, like, what do you think the whole point of, or what kind of a message does Duke Kaboom send? And it was kind of, like, more so, one of those, like, there's something inside all of us that gives you that little bit of superhero, or that little bit of, even if you fail, it's never too late to try again.
That's right. So Duke Kaboom teaches you even if you fail, you keep going.
Is teaching lessons.
And once you see the movie, you're going to understand even more about that. So,
but it was so weird because I'm sitting there looking, and I'm like, I saw Tim Allen before. Not that it's not a big deal, but I've seen Tim Allen before.
He was at the Toy Story Land dedication. So
yes. But seeing Keanu Reeves was kind of like, because he's been in so many iconic movies. My older son was super jealous because he loves the Matrix movies. And he's like, but it's Neo from the Matrix, and the whole...
I said I would be more excited to see Tom Hanks because just growing up with our generation, and we saw Tom Hanks back in Bosom Buddies. I mean, on TV, and then what he's become his career, just some of the iconic movies he's made over the years. So to me, that was the big one. I wanted to see Tom Hanks.
So, when Tom Hanks came out with Annie Potts, and it was just so weird. Like, that's Tom Hanks, and the way he talked about Woody and all the things that that character has come to mean to so many people. And I want you guys, if you didn't see it yet, go on our YouTube channel, because somebody had asked him a question that I was surprised on the answer. Let's just say that.
And everybody in there had already seen the movie, so they were able to ask questions based on it. So we're not going to tell you what the movie scene was, but if you go watch the video, you can see the way he answers the question. Because we're not giving a spoiler by that.
No, because it was in the press junket. So somebody asked him what it was like filming the end of the movie, and the way he answered it was very interesting. And then he said something about, I have the answer I'm supposed to give you in my pocket.
It's hilarious.
He pulled out this paper. You guys have to go see the video.
And he reads verbatim the Disney legal disclaimer that he had to read. You could tell it was just funny.
To me, I'm going to say it. To me, it alluded to the idea that this is not the last Toy Story movie.
Or the end of these characters.
No.
And that's what, when we walked out, I said, you might see them pop up in other Pixar films, being that everything's interconnected some way, somehow. So
and they ended it to where, like any good movie, they ended it to where...
it could be done.
It could be done, or it could not. I mean, it could continue. And I think that's Disney's good about that. And so is Pixar, as far as leaving things off to where... if you want to do more, that you can. Just
don't make us wait 10 years like The Incredibles. That's the only thing I ask. If they're going to make a part 5, don't make me wait 10 years to see it.
Yeah, I was very, it was kind of exciting to see his answer. And, you take it for what it's worth, what he said. I mean, what did he mean by that?
But
watch the video and find out.
Do you realize how many celebrities you've seen in the last 2 weeks?
It's crazy.
It really is. I'm jealous. I saw Fred Savage. Did I tell you guys that? Fred Savage, The Wonder Years.
I mean, I was super... See, it's different. Let me explain something real quick. Okay, so when I saw Zachary Levi a couple weeks ago...
Oh, I forgot about him, too.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
I saw Ben Savage, Fred's brother, there.
Zachary Levi is like my profile picture for everything right now.
Forgot about that one, too.
Because he's Flynn Rider. So,
They couldn't get his nose right, though.
So I was excited about that. But I wasn't, it wasn't one of those things that, we were covering the convention, but I wasn't being sent there for a specific job. The rest of the celebrities that I saw, all of them, I was there to do a job, so it's different. And I know that sounds weird, but it's just different.
Different.
Does it make sense? Does that make sense?
Of course it makes sense.
You gotta put your feelings aside when it comes to your job.
But she didn't when she saw Zachary. She fangirled.
It was Flynn Rider. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I mean, anyway.
It was good. Look at her. Now she's fanning herself. Eugene Fitzherbert. Okay, moving on. That's enough Toy Story talk for now. Michelle needs a break. But
anyway, the celebrities were everything that you would hope that they would be. And And come to find out, what was really cool is that Tim Allen and Tom Hanks actually like have lunches together and stuff, and they actually really did become like the best of friends.
And actually, a video came out the day we were there for the first day of the Woody and the Buzz Lightyear of the toys that showed Tom Hanks and Tim Allen messing around with them.
Yeah, that's
behind
really
the scenes,
cool.
so that did surface this past weekend. So, okay, so the next thing, are we moving on? Are we done?
We're done. I'm done.
Okay, so we have a big announcement for TMSM, and you may have seen it if you look in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen right now. You will see a logo underneath the TMSM logo, and that's MEI Mouseband Travel. We have set up a partnership with MEI Mouseband Travel. Actually, we worked on this when we were in California. It was one of our little side things we were doing while we were there. We got to meet with Becky Macon. If you don't know Becky, Becky is a huge name in the Disney community.
She's the best of the best when it comes to travel
really
agents.
She is absolutely fantastic. She has a handful of, I mean, it's a good sized handful of agents that work for her, but they are just fantastic. And we've created a partnership with them that is unlike anything else we've ever had with anybody else in the past. And Becky really wants to help us grow, and she thinks that what we do is fantastic, and she wanted to be a part of it. And I think it's going to be exciting.
We're already talking about projects and such that we're going to work on together. And her and her team can definitely take care of your Disney travel needs. Of course, it's free to you to take care of their services.
So I'm going to put the screenshot up there now that has our link. The only thing we ask, though, is if you do contact them for a quote, or if you purchase with them, please let them know you heard about it from TMSM. Just so they can keep track of how many Main Streeters are actually going to MEI to get their traveling booked with them. But Becky's told us it's one thing she gave, because we always want to make sure you guys are taken care of, and if there's a problem, what's going to happen. And so I asked Becky, and she told us, she goes, if there is an issue, if somebody has an issue and they report, I'm having a problem getting this deal done, she takes over the deal. It doesn't go back on an agent, doesn't go on a manager, Becky actually steps in.
She's
very hands-on. And Becky she's a great person to have with us in our corner, and she's got a lot of clout in the Disney community.
And we have a lot of good things that we're working on, and I can't wait to tell you guys about.
It was so we went and saw so Thursday night, the night before we left California, we actually went and saw World of Color with Becky.
Mm-hmm.
We got to talk about a lot of ideas, and we stood outside of California Adventure for like an hour and a half probably. Just talking about ideas that we're just bouncing off each other. She's excited, we're excited. So this is moving forward, and we just want to let you guys know. So if you go to our website, you will see her banner now is there. It's a revolving banner. There's two of them there. One's a Star Wars theme. The other one's a cruise line theme one. We're going to alternate those as deals come out, but when breaking travel specials come out, Becky's going to get them to us. We're going to put them out for you guys to see.
It's going to be accurate information, quick information, reliable information.
It is.
And she does Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, so all your Disney needs.
And actually, even if you're not going to Disney, she does everything.
She does everything.
So if you want to go to a cruise in Norway, she could probably book it, because she said she can book with any cruise line all over the world. It doesn't have to just be Disney. She is licensed to do it in every state.
She is good, you guys. She is really good, and I feel completely at ease and very blessed that she is with us now.
Yeah, the story goes back. Becky was one of the first people we talked to 9 years ago when we started the Main Street Mouse. Actually, at the time, we called it a completely different name, and talking to Becky at the time, and we ended up changing the name because of Becky's recommendation.
Yep,
at
Becky
the time.
And Lou
Yep, Becky and Lou both at the time, and so we've known Becky for years, but we never wanted to go to her because we didn't feel we offered her enough. For her,
because she's just that good.
She's just that good, and we didn't want to disappoint in any possible way. And we started talking to her. Lou actually kind of got us together. Lou Mangello, who you guys may know from WW Radio, he kind of brought us together to kind of start, hey, you guys need to talk to Becky, because she's going to take care of you guys, and she's going to do it right. And
so we have projects coming that I can't wait to tell you guys about.
They're going to be huge.
We're working with some really wonderful people. I feel like we're finally at a place that we needed to be. A lot has transpired in the past 2 weeks since we've talked, and I don't want to give too much away, but there are really good things coming, and I really hope you guys stay around for it all, because it's good.
Oh, and I have a huge project that actually Becky's involved with me on.
It's big.
And I was working on it without Becky, and then Becky wanted to be a part of it, and now it's really taking on a head of its own, and it's really gaining some big momentum and big steam. So it is going to happen, but when I'm ready to announce it, it will be soon. Probably in the next few weeks, we will announce to you guys what it is. But It's going to be awesome. That's
It is.
all I can say.
So if you need any travel help, go to our website at themainstreetmouse.com.
Yeah, I'll put the link up there again so they can see it.
There's banners on our site for travel. That would be Becky's site, MEI Travel Mouseband.
Yep.
Travel. Yes. So she's really, really, really good.
And Elizabeth, much bigger than the cruise.
Much bigger than the cruise.
Much bigger than the cruise.
Oh my goodness. It's good stuff.
Yes.
Speaking of other good stuff, in 2 weeks we are going to be featured guests at Magic City Con.
Yes,
in
let me
Alabama.
put that one here really quick. So if you've been there in the past with us, we've been there the last few years. We are going back. Our friend Jamie and her sister Rita put on this con every year. I think it's year 5 now. If I'm not mistaken, or year 6, 5 or 6.
Jamie actually came and babysat my kids when we were
yes,
at Disneyland.
She did. Jamie
so
did come here, so she's such a good friend of us. So we're going there. Corey's actually going to come there for the weekend with us.
Yes, our staffer Corey, who has been with us for 9 years.
Which he has a lot of fans in Alabama.
Corey Tucker is going to be at the booth with us.
That's right. So Corey Tucker will be there with us all weekend. I'm actually moderating. Jamie kind of turned me into one of her masters of ceremonies and moderators. So I will be working some of the panels and such this coming weekend with my friend Jeremy, who runs the Huntsville Con we were at back in March.
And I am actually into panels. She gave me enough clout to have a Meet Michelle from the Main Street Mouse panel.
Yes.
Which is frightening.
And then a Women Who Rock panel with some of the actresses.
Yeah, yes. So I'm actually in a panel with actresses from The Walking Dead,
Power Rangers,
like a women who kick butt type of panel, and I was included in that, which is really cool. All about girl power, female empowerment, which is always fantastic if you ask me. And then like the one that I'm running by myself, no idea what's going to happen. I just hope people come to it.
I'll be moderating us. I'll be there with
like if you guys don't come, maybe we can.
I think people will come because when we've done the Disney panels, we've had people. We're actually doing another panel together. We're doing a Disney panel / Marvel Cinematic Universe, so it's going to kind of cover both. Just because it's the two things we love, Disney and Marvel. She's actually grown to care a lot about that. We're going to pull Corey into that one to help us out with that.
Yeah, we're going to have Corey help us on that one. So if you want to meet us and come hang out with us.
And get a picture with Corey Tucker.
You can go to Magic City Con, Birmingham, Alabama. It is at the Hyatt Regency. It's the Winfrey Hotel that is attached to the River Chase Galleria Mall, which is a fantastic mall,
right off the freeway. Right off the freeway,
very easy to find. We're going to be there all weekend. We are going to be again featured guests. We are going to have our own table. I'll have my books. We're going to have some of our coffee. You can come and just say hi, take pictures, get some TMSM swag, and then come and watch our panels to see what we have to talk about. Because obviously we can talk for a long time. So.
And it's a lot of fun. And the one thing about Jamie and Rita, they keep the prices really low for the people coming to their con. Where you go to some cons, it costs you $50, $60, $70 to get in there. Not even near that with their pricing. No. So go to their website, MagicCityCon.com, where you can buy your tickets online, or you can buy them the day of the show. It's all up to however you want to do it. But please come out and see us. And see $75 autographed glossies. Corey said will be available. I'm not sure if they're glossies of him or of Michelle.
Maybe we can do Michelle. Like a duo picture, like back to back.
I guess we'll see what happens. But it should be a blast. Whenever the three of us are together, we always have a
Corey's a party all by himself.
He is.
I'm just going to say that. And I also created an event tab on the main page. I created it last night. So if you want to join that tab for Magic City Con so you can get all the updates, the panel schedule, yes. I'm going to try to keep everybody updated as far as what we're doing. And each year that we've done this, we've had Main Streeters come out to see us, and it's always been such a wonderful thing, and I really, really appreciate that. And that's another thing. Let's talk appreciation for 1 minute before we close. With all the things that we do and all the things that we get to do, I never take any of it for granted. It's a blessing. All of it is a blessing, and there are times that it's hard, but it's so worth it, and you guys make it worth it, so I just wanted to say thank you for that.
So, before we went live tonight, I did get confirmation that next Monday night, Scotty Too Hottie and Stacey D will be here for the show. We're finally doing the makeup show from the 1-year anniversary show. Scott was in Disneyland Paris before we went to California, so he was getting caught back up, and then we were getting caught back up, but I did talk to him today, and he and Stacey will be here next Monday night at 7 o'clock, so tune in. That should be a great show.
From the WWE, Scotty Too Hottie.
Trainer from the next facility here in Orlando. Also going to get to talk to him because a couple wrestlers that he probably knows will be at the Birmingham show that we're going to be at the next week, so we can talk to them them.
So I'm going to be super nervous next Monday because Scotty Too Hotty's going to be sitting up here with us. But hey, it'll be
great.
Fun.
So yeah, just in case, I just throw their screenshot back up here again. But yeah, so June 17th, you will see Scotty Too Hotty and Stacy. They're going to come here. They're going to talk about their site they run and their videos and such. And
their love for the parks. They are very big theme park enthusiasts.
Yep. Definitely. So it'll be a great show. So make sure you tune in next week at 7.
Lord,
like usual. In case you miss it, though, we do have TMSM text alerts you can sign up for. So if you sign up for these alerts, you'll get a text message roughly 5 minutes before the show begins. In order to get these, all you got to do is type or text the word TMSM live to the number 94253. We will send a text alert out about roughly 5 minutes before the show begins with a link to where you can go to the Facebook page and watch the show. Just makes it a little bit easier for you guys to remember. Next is, I just want to kind of remind you guys all about TMSM Radio, still out there. Corey's actually going to be working on some new stuff for this. I know we keep saying that he's got some ideas. And
come on, Corey, get with
Corey's going to start doing it. I got to show him how to work the software, which we're going to be able to do in Alabama next week, in 2 weeks. I'll show him how it all works.
Maybe we can do some things from Alabama. We'll have
we
to
could
see about
do that. But you can go download from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store and just do a search on TMSM Space Radio. Sponsored by our friends at Kingdom Strollers. It's a completely free app for you guys to use, and you can listen to Disney music, parade music, firework music, anything Disney related is on there. So go check that out and get your Disney, your Disney fix
from wherever you're
wherever at. As Michelle mentioned earlier, we're going to have it next week or in 2 weeks in Birmingham, but we're also TMSM Coffee is still around from Coffee Shop of Horrors, our partners in this. Portion of each sale goes to Give Kids the World here in Orlando, which is an absolutely great foundation, and they help a lot of families all over the place. To order it, just go to tmsm.shop/coffee. You can order. We've had some excellent reviews on everybody who's purchased the coffee. I don't think
everybody loves it, and that's a great thing.
And they're reordering.
That's
what's
good
great. Stuff.
Even when my family was here, we had them drink our Spectral Churro coffee, and they loved it.
Yeah, they did. And it's just funny because I hoped people would order it once just to give it a try, but then when people are saying, I've ordered my second or my third batch of it, it's like, then you like it. Because if you're still ordering it, you do like it. So, TMSM social media, if you're following us on Facebook, you're already following us at The Main Street Mouse. You can also follow us on Instagram and YouTube at The Main Street Mouse. On Twitter, it's just Main Street Mouse. On YouTube, though, make sure when you're following it, you also click the little bell so you get notifications when we do post a video, or in the event we do go live on YouTube, you will be notified about it right away. Last slide, I promise you, is Michelle and I's Instagram following. You can follow us both. Follow Michelle M. Atwood on Instagram or TMSM Avenger on Instagram, and you can stay apprised of what Michelle and I are up to.
Because we're always up to something.
We're always up to something. Usually something not any good, but we're always up to something.
And we're finally starting to get back to somewhat normal. I feel like last week was a big blur. Week before was a blur, but we're getting back on track. So we're working on it.
We'll get back there. We gotta get to the parks. If it would stop raining, we can get to the parks.
If it would stop raining, that would be fantastic.
That would be. Get some of this bad weather and get us out to the parks.
Yeah, for sure.
So, thank you guys so much for watching. We're sorry about the problem we had. Like I said, there's storms and such in the area, and that may have killed our signal. I'm going to combine both videos together. We'll upload that to YouTube, and then we'll also have the audio version available on the podcasting app, so you can listen to that later.
Yes, and don't forget, somebody keeps asking me, this was from the pop-up store at Disneyland. It's got like flavored popcorn in it. So there is a pop-up store in downtown Disney at Disneyland where you can get these cute little buckets.
And we had to buy it.
And please, next Monday with Scotty Too Hotty, it's going to be a great show. I hope you guys tune in. And then again, in 2 weeks, I think we're probably going to do some live feeds and such from Magic City. What?
We forgot to do a giveaway.
Oh my gosh! So how could we forget to give stuff away?
I don't know, but you better start showing them. People are leaving quick.
My gosh! I'm so sorry. Okay, so we have things to give away. So hopefully people are those of you that have stuck it out.
It's actually starting to go up a little bit now.
Okay, giveaway.
They're popping.
All right, so I am sharing some of my things from Galaxy's Edge and my my media kits that I got. And, one thing that I bought as well. So, did you Galaxy's Edge first?
Yeah.
Okay, I bought this in Galaxy's Edge. They had the bags.
Landing 2019 in the bottom there.
Yeah, Landing 2019. I bought extra.
And these are the reusable bags that Disney's selling all over property now. So Michelle did have to buy the Disneyland California Adventure one and the Galaxy's Edge one.
Yeah, and it says Disneyland on the inside.
Yes.
So that is one of the things that you will get.
So you will get the bag.
There is, these are kind of like the books that were, they based Galaxy's Edge off of.
Right.
The Black Spire Outpost is the name of like the, the little area that you're visiting.
And Batu.
And then Batu is the name of the
Yeah, but these books were written for the land Galaxy's Edge. So
two books.
We're giving you guys each a copy. We're giving somebody a copy of both of those books. That's a pretty good gift right there.
That is a really good gift. And okay, so from our Toy Story 4 presser, you will get a Toy Story 4 pop socket for your phone. So those little things that you stick in the back, and you can put your fingers through there so you don't drop your phone. Hold on to your phone, Toy Story 4. And then also there are these magnets or stickers.
I'm not even sure.
I don't know. Whether they're magnets or stickers, you're
gonna
get them. So we have Toy Story. These were given to just the media for Toy Story 4. And so we got, I think so. So we got the books, we have the bag from Disneyland, the magnets, and the pop socket. Now again, this is stuff, these are gifts that were given exclusive to the media. And instead of keeping it for myself, I'm giving it to you. You
know what? Maybe if we can find a way, we'll throw one of these Toy Story 4 posters in there.
Oh, yeah, these came out too. They gave the media posters.
Yeah, they're a mini poster, and it's a two-sided poster. One side has one image, the other has another. So, you know what? I'll find a way. That'll come with it.
Okay, we'll throw this in there too.
I'll put it in a tube and put it in the box and mail it. So the books are going to take a little bit heavier of a box.
Yeah, so whoever wins this big prize is going to get a big bag of goodies in the mail.
Yes. But how do they win it, Michelle?
For you to win this amazing prize, let's see, what could my word be this week? What's my word?
Blessed.
Blessed. No, it's got to be something Disney, something that they'll remember. Bless your heart. No, it's not bless your heart.
How about Duke Kaboom?
No, because they'll spell it wrong. Because everybody spells it wrong. Or they yell at me. They yell at me that I don't know how to spell the word kaboom.
You got to come up with something good then.
How about just Star Wars? Star Wars and the city and state where you live. Star Wars and where you live.
Just put that in the comments on
the comment section.
Or on the other video, because there's going to be two of them.
There's going to be two.
Facebook, so you can put it in either one. Also on YouTube, once I have the video uploaded there, you could do the same thing there in the comments, and that'll give you an extra entry. So
yes, so Star Wars and your name and city. Go on our YouTube channel, and once this video is downloaded, and comment there as well. YouTube is under the Main Street Mouse as well.
Yes, and we'll get that all uploaded tonight. It might take me a little while, so I'm going to have to merge the videos first, create that file, then upload it. So it's going to take me a little bit, but I will have that whole video of the entire show up there sometime this evening.
And it's really a great prize. It's a great prize because these are things that were given to us.
And nobody else can get them right now.
And you can't buy them.
Some of them.
Well, maybe. Yeah. I mean, maybe if you go to California, you might be able to.
Look at they're starting already. Star Wars. Brownsburg, Indiana. James, New York. St. James, New York. Sorry.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm sorry. I cannot believe I almost forgot about the giveaway.
It just reminded me because I was looking at it's the last thing in my notes.
Whoops. Sorry about that. So, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Comment on that video once it's loaded. Follow us on Instagram. And, suggest us to your friends if you are happy with what we do. Because we work really hard.
Yes, we do. And if anything you guys can do to help share it, get it out there, let other people know about the Miniature Mouse, we greatly appreciate it. Everybody needs a little Disney love in their life. I also want to thank Michelle for her coverage. I mean, she was fantastic in Star Wars, Galaxy's Edge, as well as the Toy Story 4 press junket and such. So she did a great job. I just want to let her know that she did do a good job. I'm proud of her for the way she did it. And I know a lot of you appreciate how much she did out there. So just I want to let her know that while we were here before we signed off for the evening.
Thank you. I really tried. And yes, I had some meltdown moments. But you know what? In hindsight, a week later, I'm pretty proud of myself.
So we're throwing her back to the wolves.
now that all the dust is settled, I feel pretty kick butt myself. So maybe I do deserve to be in that panel at Magic City kind of up.
There you go.
Women.
There Troy. You go. I'm going to put a slideshow together for her.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you so much.
It. Come see us next Monday with Scotty Too Hottie.
Scotty who?
Scotty Too Hottie.
Scotty. We'll see you